Hi, Bella here, or as you may know me already, Aaliyah. Where have I been? Am I okay? What is happening to the channel? Is there going to be much of anything else occurring on the channel? Let me answer your questions, one at a time. October 19th. As of today, 1 month and 1 day since a flood of Roswell, New Mexico, Ruidoso, New Mexico, Clovis, New Mexico, and any other neighboring city, Chavez County, Dexter, and anywhere else close by to have received the flood. A catastrophic flood swept through Roswell that night, within the later hours of somewhere between 8 p.m. to midnight. Flash flood. If you all know Roswell, New Mexico, you know very well that we are a desert plain city within the middle of nowhere. Roswell is only famous for the UFO incidents of the 1940s, reported unidentified flying objects, crash landing within Area 50, 51, somewhere in there. I'd have to do my research. Forgive me, but I am doing this off script. Just please listen. The desert is not known for flash floods. Why did this happen? Every few hundred years or so, flooding can occur within a desert plain. The Gobi Desert of China is one such place. The Sahara Desert of Africa is one such place. Here, in the American states, flooding can still occur even within the deserts. It just happens within every 100 years or so. This year, the spring Hondo River channel overflooded. Flowing here affected the southern region of Roswell. Such a place known as Calhoun Park is completely flooded. It's not flooded still, but the people who live there have been forced out of their homes due to black mold. They lost practically everything. Why am I talking about this? Where I live in Roswell is the southern half of the city. And while I don't live in Calhoun Park, I live within a lower, if not the lowest, spot on Roswell, not counting Calhoun. That day, I witnessed the real meaning of flash flood. Let me recount it. I was observing through the back window on the back side of my house the lightning strikes dancing across the sky. When I turned around, I could only see the reflection of something shiny on my floor, reflecting boldly, if not mirroring almost completely and perfectly, the overhead light of the hall. And that was when I knew. Water had come up into the house, breaching the front door. And, without anyone realizing, it had breached the garage. Knowing that I had suffered an ant infestation, and knowing that the outside wall was not covered up right, not by rocks, not by anything, there was nothing to hide the cracks in the wall at the outside, or the seal to my window, I knew we were in trouble. Going to my room, I saw it. Water on the floor. The video clip you're about to see was taken on my phone. And during this, I was panicked. This video was pushed out onto TikTok, which, if in case you didn't know, I do have a TikTok that you can follow. Link is in the description. What I am going to show you is the moment of sinking realization. We were about to become victim of something I had not once, ever experienced in my life. Take a listen.
It doesn't get this. Right here, I have ants coming through my wall. Thankfully they're dead, but look at this. Look at this. Look at all this fucking pepper. That is the sound of a vehicle right now.
So, we've survived the flood. Can't say the same for the house. Can't say the same for the dark marks under my eyes, as they already exist. But, voila. We're all good with the vehicles. We already went. There's only stray bits of wood that appear to have assaulted our cars, as well as a trash can over at our mailbox. We alive. Our utilities are fine, so that's good. Think we could maybe move a couple more things, because there still are some very slick spots here.
Yeah. Well, when this dries up a little bit, we're gonna clear off the cube shelves, because those are the main ones we'll have to replace, even the ones in your room.
Well, no, see, what's the worst problem right now? The mud or the cube shelves rotting on us when they're not gonna rot right now?
Hey, did you make it to work?
Gosh.
Yeah. It's bad. This is worth it.
At least we're not going to feel too bad about the washer and dryer units.
It's like raging water.
Look at that.
Because water like goes through the corner of my house.
Look at all that.
I got a piece of big board leaning up against my car on the tires on the
And yeah,
driver's
we
side.
are still,
It's like a big old
we still have a couple
wood
of
timber, and,
thick water spots.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
This just tells us how sunk in the house is on its foundations.
Prepared for all this. They probably have third shift cook off of breads and stuff.
Right there especially.
Or they make ramen. Huh?
And then we go in here.
Yeah,
The wood is a little warped in here.
Third shift people over there. They probably can't leave. Yeah, 'cause third shift got.
But yeah, no room in this house survived. No. It's like we got unwanted paintwork done in here. Very unwanted paintwork.
Yeah, mine is too.
But yeah. Look at that. That right there. That's the only dry spot in the house. The only dry spot for sure in terms of the floor. The video you just witnessed is true event, happening in the most scariest time of day and night. Midnight all the way through the early hours of the morning. Water remained high as 8 inches for us. The pictures you've seen in that video are real. They're scary real, and while they are not as scary as the events in Barcelona, Spain, and Asheville, North Carolina, where flooding has been many times worse than what we witnessed here in Roswell. It does not surprise me that nature has come calling back to us. To this day, there are only many people that I can thank. During my time, within those scary hours, all the way up until 1 a.m., give or take, I sat in a call with both a friend and my partner, who witnessed via the phone our panic, our seeming desperation to push water out of the house fruitlessly. There's only one or two things during that entire event that I found funny at all. Only that. But I think there's only one true thing that I witnessed that still scares me to the bone to this day. With every vehicle that passed us, and with the water being so high, one of the vehicles, our van, apparently is light enough and was sitting just so much where water was strong enough to push it closer and closer to my bedroom window. That van almost touched my window. My car, the Jeep, only suffered flooding on the right-hand side, flood damage at least to the floorboards. Thankfully, no mold festered in it. My stepfather's truck is a complete loss now. Not that it wasn't a loss beforehand, with it being so old, out of shape, bent up, and always on the verge of collapsing on itself. It is now a full loss. Thankfully, other vehicles were fine. My neighbor only suffered dirt in her house, whereas in my house, it's complete flooding, wood warping from damage, cube shelves falling apart. Items were lost. Some of them valuable, some of them not. This flood is not the first thing that has forever impacted my life and how I view nature. From the time that I was in North Carolina and witnessed Hurricane Florence in 2018, I have always been well aware that nature is powerful. We must respect nature. There is no other way around that. There's no other way around that. We don't live forever, but nature is forever. And I think we forget that a lot. It is thanks to FEMA that we do have some money. Only $770 in total damages, which may not seem like a lot. More pictures that are coming up on the screen now will reveal to you what this house has gone through, the progress it has taken within a month's time to recover, especially due to being displaced. We're back in the house now. What you're seeing behind me is my room. This is my room. But my room has not always looked like this. Whereas there was once a nightstand beside my bed, it's gone. Not that it was damaged, but because it is simply just not feasible to have here right now. It's in storage. My wall has been cut all around in the house. Wall has been cut. We had to cut out our drywall. We had to cut out our firewall. We had to cut out also another layer of wall due to black mold. I have been out of this house, unable to live under it, for a month. And the rest of the house is still in disarray. We're working on replacing furniture now. I'm working to settle a down payment on a new cabinet, dresser drawer, shelf, and as well a new bed, since the bed I have here, which is a day bed, is out of shape. It's old, and it's bad on my back. I suppose the only good thing that has come out of this, and nothing at all related to the flood, is the fact I have been promoted within my job, a higher rank than what I have been. Whereas I was key holder, I am now team lead supervisor, basically assistant manager. So, when it comes to this channel, do know that it will be a long time before I upload anything ever again. I could try to continue to upload things. I still have videos in my folder, videos I have not touched. I haven't had the time to touch them. Or when I do, I'm tired. Or I want some form of stress relief that doesn't include editing, thumbnail making, and simply put, YouTube at all. This is the first video in a long time for you guys. And this is most certainly not a video that I've been eager to make at all. This is the only time now that I've even thought about making it, so that's why there's no script. I can only say there isn't much for anyone to do. For us here in Roswell, there's really not. We're surviving, we're thriving. But I urge you all to think about it very clearly, about the place where you live, the foundations of your house. If your house is prepared for any form of emergency, whether that be fire, whether that be gas leaks, whether that be flooding. It could be anything that can uproot your life in a moment's notice. This is what this flood did to us. Here in Roswell, we lost 2 to 3 people. That's not a huge loss, but it is still a loss nonetheless. My own manager almost lost one of her kids to this flood because the child knew no better about how dangerous fast-moving water is, especially when it's contaminated. This has been a rough month. It's been rough. But to anyone who cares, and anyone who has something they want to say in the comments, you may feel free to do so. I will acknowledge you. I will talk to you. It may take a while, though. Otherwise, I wanted to make this video to let you all know I'm here. I'm okay. I'm alive. But I definitely have experienced something eye-opening but humble. But I wouldn't wish it on anyone else. Otherwise, one interesting little piece of news that I will share. And while I won't spoil anything, my partner at the Stellar King is considering making his own project. Private studio, a interesting story twist when it comes to the Five Nights at Freddy's genres, and actually also extra genres that do nothing with Five Nights at Freddy's. If you support him, be sure to check him out. He was with me during that entire flood. And while we both are going through the ups and downs of life, this is what we want to do. And being able to tell a story to you guys, and to anyone who listens, is part of our stress relief. It is part of our way to give our thanks to you. We're not asking for money. We're not asking for anything. Simply enjoy what we put out there if you can. Give ideas. And in case anyone is interested, the link to the Clashed Realities Discord will be in the description below. It's a community server, and while it's not as hugely active, and I don't ever expect it to be, you're still free to join. It's okay, and you can leave at any time. Be sure to like and subscribe, by the way. It gives me a small boost of confidence. Have a good night.